Salute. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and this is the Thinking Class. And today we're going to be talking about the spiritual side of the game. And in the spiritual side of the game, we will be covering about opening up your ears. Your surroundings are always telling you about yourself. So we're going to talk about today about opening up your ears. And I want you to realize when you open up your ears spiritually, you're in tune to things that you wouldn't normally hear on a nominal basis. So let's get started. This is Lawrence D. Adams and the Thinking Class, and we're about to elevate, and let's get ready to go. What's going on, everybody? This is Lawrence D. Adams. Let's get it started. Had to change the format a little bit, so let's get it going. Let's get it going. You know, when this music come on, you know what it means. You know what it means when this music come on. If you do not know, you already know. It's time for us to get it. The Thinking Class is in motion. Lawrence D. Adams, opening up your ears. You're already open to receive. Now it's time for you to be open to hear on another level. Get your drink, lunch, smoothie, salad, and let's go into this next level. And I'm talking to you. Shout out to everybody shout out everybody in here. Let's tap it in. Shout out to Joe Blast. Shout out to William. Shout out to Tara. Shout out to Viking Paradigm. Let's get it going. This is Lawrence D. Adams. We're talking today about the spiritual side of the game. You know when this music come on, you know what it means. It's time to get it. Let's run it back again. What? Let's run it back again. The spiritual side of the game. My good people, my good sisters, my good brothers, let's get it today. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat room. Let's get it going. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat room. Let me know you guys can hear me. All right. That's What I'm talking about. Let's get it going. The music is the Thinking Class anthem. Let's go. Come on, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Let's go. This is Lawrence D. Adams. We're live today, changing the format a little bit so we can be more productive and reach more people. Tag, share, like. Let's get it going. We're talking about the spiritual side of the game. Let me get some music in the background. Some music just play in the background so we can roll. You know how we do that. You know how we do that. Whoa. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Let's get it going. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Let's get it going. Let me drop my glasses off. Rain about to come down. Let's get it going. We're talking about the spiritual side. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Alpha Kingdom. This is for the beers. Love you. I love you. Salute you, brother. Thanks, man. You know I don't even drink beer, but thank you for the beer money. Get it. Hey. Thank you for the advice. Yeah, thank you. Salute. Shout out to the Thinking Class Signal. What's going on? Let me let you know, too, something that I don't even talk about a lot is you can go to LDA Lifestyle and I actually do one-on-one coaching. That's right, one-on-one coaching. Pay attention to what I'm saying. If you need that one-on-one coaching, you definitely need to sign up for that one-on-one coaching on LDA Lifestyle. LDA Lifestyle. You need to get that one-on-one coaching in. You need some things you don't want to discuss on the Thinking Class or you want to talk about behind closed doors. You can set up that one-on-one coaching. I know you're just trolling. You can set up that coaching, get your coaching section in. If you like what we do in the Thinking Class, imagine what the coaching section would be. Completely deep. It would be crazy because it would go into we would walk through your life and bring you out on the other side. So you definitely want to get that one-on-one coaching with LDA. Yes, it is for a price. So I want to let you know you can get that coaching. If you have not gotten the books, The Power of Think, The Power of Believing in Yourself, and The Secret Invisible Crown. You need to get the Secret Invisible Crown, get that in your life, get that one-on-one coaching, get that time in where we can walk through your life, pull you out on the other side. It's time for you to go to the next level. This is the Thinking Class, and we're going to get started right now. I had to change the format. Shout out to Mr. 1950. Give him a showing nothing but love. Thank you for being on your show yesterday. Mr. 1950, great show yesterday. Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed it. We chopped it up. Ron Wheels, Miles, and I forgot the other, and your other gentleman. We cut it up. It was good. What men need to hear, solutions. And that's what we all about here, about giving solutions. So you definitely don't shout out to Mr. 1950. Find him on YouTube. Find him on Instagram, Silverback. That's what is going on there. But definitely shout out to him. Great show yesterday. But let's get going to what we're talking about, the spiritual side of the game. Spiritual side of the game. So let me drop the music a little bit. And let me tell you this story. Let me tell you this story. There was a man who was going on a journey. Let me change this beat because it's not getting me into where I need to be. There's a man that was going on a journey. He was going on a journey. And as he was going on this journey, he didn't realize he came across. He didn't realize he came across Are you listening? It was this man that was on this journey. And as he was taking step after step after step, he had talked to many kings. He had ate at the best tables. He had the best of everything. But yet, and he accomplished all that his heart desired. But deep down inside, something was missing. He did not activate his internal hearing. So even though he had made it through life and did more than anyone else and surpassed all his wildest dreams, yet his spiritual ear was fully closed. So he sat under a tree and he looked over his life. He contemplated the meaning of life. He contemplated everything that he has accomplished. But yet, he realized something was missing. And as he sat under the tree, what was missing was that his spiritual ear was not open. And as he contemplated underneath the tree, a gentleman came to him and said, "Follow me." Now, mind you, the gentleman that said follow him had on clothes that were raggedy, shoes that were wore out. But he said, "Come follow me." And as this gentleman followed this man, man began to tell him about things about him that he knew not of. And then he told him the reason why his spiritual ear had not been opened. This man broke down and cried and asked, "Who are you that you would know these things about me?" And the man said, "I am you." Let me say that again. The man said, "I am you." The man said, I am you. The man with the tattered clothes, shoes that were wore out, said to the other man, I am you. The man fell to his knees and said, wow, how can this be? How are you me? When I'm looking right at you and I'm me right here. And the man said, I am the part of you that you had neglected. And that's why you're seeing me in this light. I am the part of you that you have neglected. And that is why you're seeing me in this light. So the man reasoned himself in himself and say, how do I reconcile this part of me that I see in you? The man said to him with the tattered clothes and shoes that was running over, you must open your ears. I have been trying to talk to you for years, but you have neglected me. I have tried to guide you away from certain situations and push you into the right situations, but you have neglected me for years. The man said, lifted his hands, and he said, I'm sorry. Forgive me. It was at that moment that he said, forgive me, that the man that was in front of him with the tattered clothes and the shoes that were ran over became a mere reflection of who he was. It was at that moment when he surrendered and realized that the man that he was looking at was just him. It was now became a mirror reflection. From that moment forward, he realized the power of listening to his internal ear, with his internal ear. Are you like that man in the story who have not been listening to your internal ear when it comes to game? Because we're talking about the spiritual side of the game. And when the mirror reflection comes before you, you are now in tattered clothes, shoes ran over, because you refuse to listen to the internal guidance system that is inside of you. When it comes to game, the spirit is always trying to lead you into not being a simp or being taken advantage of. It's always trying to get you to a place where you always win. If you can understand the story and realize that the story is not about the man in the story, it's about you. When you understand this, this takes everything up to the next level. Don't be like that man who went around and accomplished everything, but neglected the most important part of him was his internal ability to hear in the spirit. If that is you, you have an opportunity today to say, hey, I need to open up that side of me. So the next question you were going to ask, I hear you, ask that man asks, how do I open up my spiritual ear to hear? The first thing you have to do is admit that you have been neglecting it. The first thing you must do is realize that you have been neglecting the spiritual side of you. And while it's been trying to guide and lead you and show you which way you need to go, you have been neglecting it. And so now, a mission is the first step. How do I get to the next level? What do you say? What does this have to do with the spiritual side of the game? It has everything to do with the spiritual side of the game, as we had talked about these past 3 weeks. Because if you're like that man with the tattered clothes and ran down shoes, you realize that he's been starved, he's been neglected, he's been many times abused. And many times he's been trying to knock at your door to let you know, hey, don't do that. Yeah, you need to do that. So will you be that man who acknowledge that spiritual ear has been closed, or will you neglect it for the rest of your life? Have you heard what I've been saying, Jono? I can't hear you.
I just jumped in.
Okay. So it's so important that we not be the one who neglects the spiritual side of us, like the man in the story who had ran across his spirit and didn't even know it, whose clothes are tattered, shoes are ran over, because you have neglected your spiritual side of you. And many times it's been trying to talk to you more and more and more and more, but you have neglected it. Have you been there, John, where you heard your spirit say, hey, 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 and you neglected it and like, oh, I should have listened?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, there's plenty of examples. I mean, something actually happened today that, just like blew my mind. I was like, I know that we were talking about being like, sat down for a little bit, a waiting period, almost like a mini hibernation period, just to find out, what's to discover, about what's to come, closing some doors and allowing things to open. So, like you said, if I didn't recognize that period, I would have missed something that was coming up today. I found out today, literally today, that like I have an invoicing software, right? And this invoicing software went through an upgrade, and I didn't know what the result of that upgrade was going to be until the end of the month. It's now coming up on the end of the month, where some clients, they pay through that invoice system, and I'm finding out now how the new system works. And to save some money on some fees, they're going to take 2 to 3 days to send me the money. Now, if I didn't sit down and hold on to some other cash that had come in so that I could front the jobs that I have to do with the post office, I would have missed the opportunity to get the jobs out on time. Can you imagine that? Like, imagine when the Lord tells you, sit down and wait for a little bit. Don't put your money here. Don't put your money there. Something's coming that you don't recognize that could mess everything up. But you got to just wait and do what I say for a minute. I had to listen. I had to literally listen and say, you know what? I'm going to hold fast. I don't know why I have to hold on to this. I know I got other stuff coming in. And then, like you saw, little trickles started coming as well from different places, adding up. I said, this is building up for something. It's not for what I think it is. I'm going to wait. And all of a sudden, this invoicing software comes up, and they're like, oh, well, since it's a new system, you're considered a new customer. So instead of the 1 day turnaround, it's going to take 3 days to turn around. If I didn't have that other money sitting there to do the job, I would have been waiting for this till like Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And I would have disappointed my clients because they want the stuff out before the end of the month. You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
Shout out.
Shout out to Mr. 1900. Shout out to you, and shout out to you again. Thank you last night for the great bringing me onto the panel last night. Thank you for the wisdom on the other side. When we talked behind, I think we talked for about an hour, 30 minutes afterwards. Shout out to you. Implemented it today. Appreciate you, brother. Good brother out in California, Jono. Good brother. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So if you didn't listen, you would have missed an opportunity. Well, you would have missed the opportunity, but you would have been delayed for months.
I would have disappointed some people because they don't care how they pay. They don't care, the way things go on the back end. They want to know if their product is being produced at the time and that you said it would be done. And if I didn't hold back, I didn't know how long the period is going to be, but I did know that there was some things that was brewing, and I had to pay attention to what was happening. And something just told me to wait. Remember I kept saying, oh, not now. Every time I thought about getting a move, I was going to invest back into something I was going to do. It said, no, wait. And I kept saying, I literally said it like 3 times this week. I found out today why that was happening. And that's the reason why you have to listen to spirit sometimes. If you don't pay attention to it, you will miss it. Pay attention when somebody's trying to literally hit you over the head and give you a sign. Yo, pay attention, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
that goes back to what Governor used to say all the time. Your environment is always prophesying to you.
Absolutely.
Let me say that again for those in the back of the room. Your environment is always prophesying. That means it's always speaking to you. Many times we're not paying attention because we're always in the mood. We're going, we're grooving, we're doing with everything like that. But your environment is always speaking to you. And the spiritual side of the game is if you can listen intensely, do meditation or do prayer or whatever. How do you ever get to quiet your mind, quiet this down? Guess what happens? You begin to hear on another level. Actually, I just thought about a scripture, but it just escaped me. It's in Ecclesiastics, but in so many words, is it in Ecclesiastes or it might be one of the prophets' books? God does nothing until he first reveal it to what? First his
prophets.
So many times things are revealed before it's revealed to the general public or to the people. But if you're not listening, you will miss it. Think about if I did go on the panel last night, I would have missed some vital information that I needed to adjust the channel. Just one couple adjustments.
It's true. You have to recognize spirit. You have to recognize when the spirit is trying to help you. You have to recognize when the spirit is trying to protect you. You have to recognize when the spirit is trying to prepare you. You have to recognize when the spirit is trying to make sure you get the ingredients for success. If you don't listen to the spirit and you just go whimsical along your day, guess what? You're going to get average results. You're not going to get the supernatural. You're going to get average results.
Yep. So the spirit is always talking, but are you always listening? Let me say that again. The spirit is always talking, but are you always listening? Man, something is irritating me. Are you listening? Many times we're not listening because we're always moving. You said you had to slow down, John, didn't you?
Of course. Pump your brakes. Because you know what? You don't know why. And it's funny, I looked at the spreadsheet and I said, look at it, all worked out. I saved exactly the amount of money. I had about maybe a $40 difference, literally $40 difference if I didn't prepare for this. And we're talking about thousands of dollars in one way or the other. It was literally a $40 difference if I didn't just hit the brakes and just wait for this moment. And if I would have pushed into some other project and waited for that to come through, it would have messed this whole thing up. But see, I waited and I said, okay, I'm gonna wait till somebody says go. And all of a sudden, the reason why I had to wait presented itself. And I see the transaction moving around. I say, oh, wait, look at that. That wouldn't have come through till Tuesday. Tuesday's the 1st. That's when it's supposed to be already mailed out. And Now, if I didn't have the opportunity to mail it tomorrow, it wouldn't get there by Saturday, and it would mess up everybody's situation. Everybody would be upset. But I prepared for that day because I was listening. I was putting myself in a position where I can understand why I was having to wait. And there it was. I looked at all the calculations. I'm like, look at this. It's literally about $40 difference. Now, I'll be fine up until that point. But that's the reason why I had to wait.
Right.
Because I had to make sure that I maintain who I was already taking care of and don't disappoint them. And then I'll get the reward next week.
Let me say something to that, man. Because I think a lot of people, they got to hear this. What's going on, Trav? I see you. What's going on, Trav? I seen that Amos 3:7. John, you not only did you serve your clients, but you kept your clients.
Exactly.
Right. You guys are hit me like a ton of bricks when someone sticks me with through and the day, and then boom, hold up. So I want you to get this. We always talk about creating the day, right?
Yeah.
So we always talk about we create a day, but another side that we need to pay attention to is we also need to hear the next day. Wait a minute, what are you saying, LDA? You need to hear the conversation of the next day.
It's true.
So if you would quiet your mind, you will hear the conversation of the next day, and you would know how to move, how to groove, what you need to do and what you don't need to do if you would just listen to the conversation of the next day. Sometimes you have to, like you said, creating a day. Sometimes you have to visit a day that's not even there. So you talked about that a lot, about visiting a day that's not there, but also now you need to listen to a day that's not there. Have you taken the time to listen to the day that's not there? That means even when it comes to this game, you should be able to hear I'm gonna go perimeter for a little bit because we got to go there so everybody can understand. You got to hear the women say, for the men, you know what? I think you are the best thing since sliced bread or whatever, things like that. You need to be able to hear it the next day. Even when it comes to your business, you should be hearing your clients saying, this is the best product I ever had. Let me say that again. You should be hearing your clients like, man, you do the best work. You got to be able to hear in the next day. And a lot of times we only hear what we hear today or what we heard in the past. Let me say that again. You got to be able to hear what in the next day, not just the next day, in the days to come. It is those who succeed in life. If you look and you study any biographies, they are people who were 5 years or maybe 10 years ahead of everyone else because they were able to hear the conversation of the next day.
It's true. And that it comes down to rapport. If you a day can't be visited until you have built a rapport with the conversation that you're going to be in. Okay. I kind of know. Tell me if I'm wrong, right? When we're about to speak, you almost know exactly what we're about to talk about. You know why? Because we have a kind of a nomenclature built up, and that rapport that we have between the two of us, it means that he's only going to talk about one or three things. We're going to say, oh, he saw something on the internet. Oh, he found a new product. Oh, he's going to talk about something that we need to talk about the thinking class. You can think there's only three things that we're going to talk about because we focus our attention on very, very specific things, and it's all in the mind of moving forward. Correct?
Correct.
So our anticipation level is literally on the level of, wow, I'm about to learn something new. Oh, I'm about to get discovery on something. Oh, I'm about to fix something that needs to be adjusted. That's the only thing we're thinking about. So when you create a day, it's based on your history and whether you make that valuable. Now, there's some people that you get into conversations with, and you're like, oh man, what are they going to ask me? Oh, they're going to ask me for something. I know they're going to want some money. Oh, what are they going to do? They're going to tell me to do something I don't want to do. It's going to take me out of my time and my energy and my flow. See, you could almost anticipate a day. Tell me in the chat room, I know for a fact there's people out there that get that when they see the phone number, it's almost like you don't even want to answer the phone because you're looking at like, this person's nothing but a drain on my life. That's called creating. And what happens is you're creating the situation, whether they were calling you to hand you $100 or not. It doesn't matter. You already declared it at that moment. You heard it in the spirit, and you already named it before you even pick up the phone. So there's two things you can do in that situation. You can either not answer the phone because you know this person is toxic or this person is just a drain on your life, or you can create that, you know what, for the first time when this person calls, they're going to create some value in my life. And if they disappoint you in that phone call, use that moment to sow a seed and get them out of your situation. We're showing you literally a predictive element. I don't want to call it science yet. Right now, it's an element for the science. And if you look at it, you can take control of what you're about to see. We all know when we see that caller ID, you know, back in the day, we had no caller ID. The phone rang, you picked it up. It could have been a spam call. It could have been your mother. It could have been your sister. It could have been your best friend. You don't know who it was. Now that you have caller ID, when you look at it, you create the phone call because you're seeing the caller ID and you say, oh, you know what? I know what this person's going to ask me for. Or I know what? This is the person that pays my paycheck. Am I going to get paid on time? You know what? Oh, that's my mom. She's going to ask me, you know, how, you know, what's my day like? And I'm going to smile because we're having a great conversation coming up. You predict it when you look at the phone call. Why can't you do that when you look at tomorrow? Why can't you do that when you look at the next day? Why can't you look at that when you look at your next money-making opportunity? Why can't you look at that when you think about a promotion? You walk into the promotion room, you're not thinking about a 2.5% raise. You're probably thinking about a 10% raise. Or maybe you're thinking about a 20% raise, and guess what? When they give you the 20, you're surprised. It's not your surprise. You created it. Look at it like a caller ID. You can predict what this phone call is going to be like. When it says unknown, you know it's going to be some spam call, and you're going to have to either, you know, hang up on the guy because you don't want their service, or it's going to be somebody that's on a bill you ain't ready to pay. You know it. It's a prediction.
Let me say something to that when you said the day before I got the promotion, I had a dream, and I was in the office of my manager that he was giving me a raise, and I said, "This is crazy. There's no raises given out right now."
It's true.
The next day, he pulled me in the office and gave me a raise.
Now let's be clear. You did not know that was going to happen. It was not a planned meeting.
No.
So how did it happen? Was it the fact that you went and visited a day that didn't happen yet, and you somehow your subconscious knew that tomorrow's going to be the day and it prepared you for it? Or did your subconscious create it because you know that further down the line, you're going to need a raise to take care of something that is coming up very shortly? Which one is it? They're both in the spirit.
Right.
They're
Right.
both a spiritual return.
Right.
Let me see here. Sigmund says, are the majority of people conditioned out of their creative awareness? No longer aware? You have to understand, conditioning is based on experience, okay? Some people, spirit's all the way around you all the time, okay? You got to make a decision whether you're going to listen to it. It's there. The spirit was always there. A lot of people call it the guardian angel. A lot of people call it the subconscious. A lot of people call it God. Some people call it the Holy Spirit. Some people call it Jesus. Whatever you want to call it, it was always there. You didn't tap into it yet. And until you tap into it, you can't use it. So the conditioning comes when you use the awareness to get a result. And that's what we have to be made aware of. Are you tapping into the presence of the spirit so that you can get a result? We talked about that literally on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So can you take what you know and condition yourself with it? Conditioning starts with using it. If you don't use it, you're not conditioning it.
Uh-oh, True Savage about to come in. What the True Savage is saying? Saturday, I was thinking about putting in for a raise and got pulled into the office on Sunday. Monday was the night I planned on dropping my request.
Look at that. That was a setup for the way up.
That's how it works.
Of course, you're not going to just get handed. Nobody's going to just walk in and hand you the money. You have to prove the value that increases the worthiness for the person to even rationalize that increased drop in your pocket.
And look what he said. I got a phone call from the personnel hiring manager promoting me to store manager.
We were just talking about that. We were talking about that when we had him live. We were talking about that. All we did was utter the simple words: promotion, promotion, promotion. You're not going to be able to buy a house with the same salary. You're going to be buying a house with the next salary. It doesn't matter if you were prepared for it or not. You're supposed to have your cup running over. You're supposed to have more than enough because things come up. Okay? You're supposed to have a third of your money for every day, a third of your money to put away. Another third is for all the stuff that just comes up.
Tell me this ain't real.
No.
That's why if you understood True Savage, what's going on? Everybody understand what we're really saying and how high vibration this is? It's like a boat. I heard a story this week, John. It was really, and it applies to this. Lady was on a boat and she was going down the Panama Canal. You know, when you go to the Panama Canal, the water drops because they open the water up and close it.
It's called a lock.
The lock. So what happens is when they need to move a boat to the next level, they open up the lock and the water comes in and lift the boat and move it further.
Right.
All we are doing is opening up the spiritual side of the game so that your boat can rise up and move to the next level.
Exactly. Because if you let the water rush in, it's going to flood the level that you were on and you're not going to safely pass through. Don't flood your current situation with a plethora of information from your future. Open up the lock so that you can be exposed to a certain amount of it and get raised to the level. And then once you get to that level, you'll be on the same plane as this new found information. That's what the lock is for.
Yeah, so that lock can represent programming.
Oh, catch this. It's actually locking out your past. It has to lock out the past so you can let the level up. Whatever level you were on, you can't be on that level. So the lock closes the past so you can fill up the level to a point where you can reach the new level, and then the door opens up. But guess what? You can't get to that level till you close the door on your past.
You can't, because if you have both locks open,
it's gonna get flooded.
It's gonna get flooded. So you got to lock the past, sit there for a moment so that
you can elevate
so that the other lock can open and bring in the worst in the water to push you forward to move you to the next level. What's going on, Treviana?
And if you allow the period that elevates you, when the doors come open to your new enlightenment period, it won't rush in. You'll be at that level and you will safely pass through your new level. Look at how that's a great analogy.
I just heard it this week, man. Somebody is in the boat.
If you open up the door to your future too early, the water will rush in and drown you. You need to be brought up to that level so that you can be safely exited on that level. And some locks have 3 to 5 levels because they know they have to bring in a huge ship.
That's what you beat me to I couldn't get it out. You beat me to the word. That's what I was going to say.
Sometimes you got to take several steps to get to the lock where the sea level is the right level for your new ocean to sail in.
Man, because some of you think you are in a tugboat when actually you're in the what? A cruise liner. What's the highest boat? I don't know whether that's a cruise, right?
An oil container ship.
Thank you.
Oil, like the ones that travel like literally twice the size of the Empire State Building on the water and almost a football field wide.
So some people think they're in a tugboat while really you are actually in an oil rig, right?
An oil liner, yeah.
Or an oil liner. And the thing of it is, you wonder why you're stuck in this Palencia or you're stuck in the Panama Canal. It's because the water in the lock has to be locked in the back and the water in the front has to be locked. Once it's locked in the back and secure, and they can open up the front, the water's going to rush in and move you to the next level.
It's true. The thinking class is that level up. You're locked on both doors right now, and the thinking class is leveling you up and giving you safe passage to your new plateau.
Man, they got to catch this, man. I just heard that story
That's spirit right there. That's spirit.
I just heard that story this week. So somebody need to really check their surroundings and not get upset, because you got to realize what size boat you really have. The reason why the game didn't work in the past, because you were not designed to work in that level of game. So the spirit said, let me lock you out of that, because that information is not going to work. Let me put you right here so that I can get you to the next level.
The spirit was trying to keep you from drowning. You didn't want all the information to rush in. Sometimes you didn't get to the successful you're looking for is because you got drowned by it and it would have taken you out, as opposed to safely handling everything coming at you in this new plateau.
Funny thing, I never had to ask for a raise in 6 years. The one time I was about to ask, I got promoted to manager. All things are possible. Are you hearing what we're saying to you today? Even from the story I gave at the beginning. You don't want to be the man with the tattered clothes on and the wore out shoes, because you got to listen. But you got to also realize the next story that was said about the boat. You are elevating. This is not just for me. This is not just for Jono. This is for you. That's why we call it the thinking class. Because we call it a thinking class, and I'm just talking. I'm just talking, but the reason we call it a thinking class, because we want you to move your Joe Blast, where you at? We need you to move your because you can't just be thinking and not do anything. He was about, what did he say? He was about to act, he was about to put in for what? A raise, and got it without even knowing it.
He did put in for the raise. He put in for the raise through the spirit. He put in for it, but he didn't have to ask anybody for it. He asked the spirit for it, and the spirit handled it for him. He said, all right, I got you.
LDA, that's facts. Would you also agree that during the time that one is not ready to receive and operate, they are being groomed for success? Yes, you are always, the spirit is always grooming you for your next audition. For your next stage in life. What happens is, what happened to me, you may want to stay in the grade that you need to be promoted to. Let me say that again. The spirit is always looking to promote you. It's always grooming you, getting you ready. Okay, you need to do this. But are you listening and say, hey, take those shoes off, don't wear that? No, man, you might want to do this. Hey, why don't you talk to Susie Q over there? I don't know Susie Q. Susie Q, her husband works with a place that you want to be at. It's always trying to maneuver you, get you to the next level. But are you listening? The thinking class is his own energy signature, a present in numbers without taking away from anyone. Right. You got to move, yo. The thinking class, you got to move, yo. Got to move it. Come on. I have done everything required for my probation. My children want me back in their lives. I told my PO this. She's going to talk to her supervisor, manifesting his emotion. Thank you. See?
Look at that. That sounds like somebody creating a day.
Right.
Instead of looking at the circumstances and making assumptions based on the past.
Look at this. Me. I want to raise. Spirit, I'll do you 3 times better.
True. How about I am the raise, already live and be it.
Right.
If you were already living and being that raise and not spending the money in that, because I used to do that too, and I used to realize that's a huge risk. You gotta be careful. Don't spend the money in that day yet. But if you already on your mind and be full of the feeling, as our grandfather would say, and get full of the feeling, you will have it coming towards you already multiplied, because you live in that day. You're already creating it. You're already creating what's supposed to happen in that situation. I told you I got a piece of equipment coming.
For another day.
Come by without money. Come by without money. I say, I'll leave it at that.
See, what did he say? We got to probably talk about that tomorrow. You got to get full. What did he say? You got to get full of the feeling that is what?
Feeling. You got to get full of the feeling. It's already done.
It's already done.
I had bought a temporary tag for one of my cars I was moving over here. The tag expires today, and guess what? The car, I had the pleasure of driving it around and doing what I had to do. All of a sudden, a maintenance issue comes up. So it's going back to the shop. So the universe is saying, don't renew the tag because the car was going to be in the shop anyway. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And of course, I'm already prepared with something else. But the point is, you got to really watch what spirit does. It's trying to help you move and navigate. You're not supposed to be upset about every little thing. Yeah, of course it's frustrating. Of course, you kind of argue it out so you can work it out mentally. But all these things are happening for a reason.
Listen to what he said. What do we see in the spirit? He says, I'm gonna do the list. I'm happy now for this reason. I can now hire my own crew. Anyone local to local. I got you. See?
Yeah. You were just talking about that.
I don't know. One appointment, 3 phone calls, things are happening. See? Look at what she said. This class is meditation for me.
All you gotta do is recognize it.
That's why I'm once again, I'm a shout out to Mr. 1950 for the conversation last night. I had to make the adjustments immediately. If I did not listen, so I got it. Oh, I didn't know it. I would have missed it. Made the adjustments because the thinking class. This channel is already about to hit the map. Not just the map, but the globe. Trust me. Uh-oh, somebody, they going in. Yo, thinking class. Yo, Mr. 1950, you're just a quick spiritual tip. You might be elevating, but it may be a time when you don't want to elevate your boat anymore. It feels uncomfortable, hard. Ride the wave through, baby. That's right. Sometimes, how can I say it? I got dropping the wrong thing. The elevation comes and you may not have been not ready for that day from what you see. But your spirit was saying, go, 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 go. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But you're like, no, I'm scared. It's like being at the pool and you know you can swim a little bit. And then your friend said, hey, man, look over there, and push you in the deep water. And somehow you swim to the edge. You make it to the edge some kind of way. You're like, wait a minute.
It's true.
That's what happens.
You got to start getting flustered, but at the same time, like, listen, I got to catch my stride. If I don't catch my stride, I'm going to drown.
Dude, man, I used to hate that, man. But that's what happens.
You can't float if you're flustered, right? You can the calmer you are, the more you raise to the top. You're supposed to be level-headed and calm so you can float to the top. Even if you can't swim, at least you'll float.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're waving around, yeah, you're gonna be all flustered and you're gonna sink.
Right. But many times, like you said, you're gonna sink. But many times the spirit is like, give him a little push. Whoop. But it's deep water.
You never know if you're gonna swim until you try.
That's why you gotta move your. You gotta move your. And it will be your own ass fault why you didn't make it to the to the edge.
True.
It will be your own why you didn't make it to the edge. Let's get with this guy. You guys are getting. I'm working on my own personal goals. Sometimes I feel weak and tired, no drive, but I'm keep grinding. One of my goals is to stay on the thinking class every day of the week. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna take some words out. Take out grind. We're gonna take out grind, and we're gonna take out We're going to take out keep out the grind. We want you to come to the thinking class and to be easy and effortlessly. It's easy and effortlessly to come to the thinking class and hear what they're talking about. Because I know my boat, the water that they're pushing in is going to elevate my boat to the next level. It is, and you got to feel that. It got to be in you. Like, you know what? I need this type of game, because this type of game is going to get me to where I need to be. It's going to actually, if you really pay attention and you allow it to flow to you, guess what's going to happen? It's going to get you to your goal faster than what you think.
True.
Okay, so what you're going to do, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. And guess what happened? You are getting notified every time we go live. We go live every day, Monday through Friday, what? 12:30 to what? 1:30. So I'm going to take that off of there because I don't want nobody seeing your stuff. Uh-oh. I was just about to say, move your ass or it'll be your own ass fault. Respect, I remember that. So you got to understand, man, if y'all catch what we're talking about, this is the game for real. This is the game. Are you listening? Or are you just talking? Because, we're just talking over here. Shout out to Prophet Hargo. He's one of the ancestors now. One of the ancestors now. We're just talking. Because this is the what? Thinking class. And you got to move or it will be your own ass fault. Why you didn't make it in this. And think if it happened for a true savage, it can happen for who? You.
Exactly. That's the reason why the testimony comes right back to this platform. We sent the words out, it worked for them, it comes back.
And guess what? This is confirmation, because it's what happened for true savage. It's going to be 100-fold. People are going to come in. Let me speak about since I'm in the next day. People are going to come in and going to be seeing this all the time, listening to the thinking class. You guys who are the foundation of this thinking class need to cheer them on, because they are coming. They are on the way. Matter of fact, a lot of them are in the clouds. They just haven't dropped down to say, hey, I'm here. This thinking class is about to blow up. It's not about to blow up. It's already about to go to the next level. Thank you. Thank you, True Savage. It's about to go to the next level. I feel it, man. I feel it. See how, look at that. Look at the protection that people have for each other, even in the chat rooms. I just noticed that. Shout out to True Savage for doing what he just did.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna ask the magic question. As this resonated with you on some levels, let us know in the chat room. If you're like, whoa, I needed this. I didn't realize, I thought I was in a tugboat and I'm really in an oil liner.
We're really on an aircraft carrier.
And if you're in an aircraft carrier, I'm on the air, you're on the ground. So you can be on the ground, you can be in the water, in the air.
In the ground at the same time.
We're
sending scouts out to go look ahead and see what's going to happen, so we come back and report.
At the same time.
They send out submarines without anybody knowing, because it's going to come from under the ship. That's when you know you have a master craft.
Oh, that's a double entendre. You know you mastered the craft.
You're on a master craft.
LDA, that's not even the big goal for me, but it is definitely a blessing. Oh, I know it ain't even the biggest goal for you, dude. Your biggest goal, if we would really get down to your business, is for you to have your own. You got the mind to have your own. So everybody is thinking, what time is it? Oh, it's 1:30. How about that? That's the biggest goal for you, my dude. You got to have your own, because you need freedom. And there's a lot of people here who need that freedom because I'm actually speaking to myself too. That's why I'm speaking it to you. And after I had that conversation with Mr. 1950, oh, what? Thinking Class is about to move right. We're gonna move the. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. If you're listening, if this has helped you in any kind of way, let us know in the chat room right now. We didn't drop some jewels today, man.
Go back and listen to it and share it. Tell people about it.
Yeah, share it. And go to the LDA Lifestyle. If you need that 101 consultation, if you need to get the products, the secret of the power of believing in yourself and the secret invisible crown, you need to purchase that. You need to get the products. I've not been pushing that. What's going on, bro? See, he be in the clouds watching. See how he got his team like? He watching from the clouds. Don Coolio. If this is help, you need to get that. You need that one-on-one counseling with LDA. I don't know if John will open up yet to do counseling or coaching or whatever the case may be, but you gotta. Some stuff we can't say on here, huh?
It's true. Yeah. I mean, I'm always open. Just hit me up on my Instagram.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, sometimes some things we can't say on here because I'm gonna do we can't divulge here because it's a public platform.
Not everybody's ready for it.
Yeah. Thank you, the real you. Foundation is so big, bro. I'm building my foundation tips, physical wealth, health daily. I want all my foundations to grow and everything else can grow daily. Right, come on. So we're about to get out of here. You ready, Jono?
Yep.
Shout out to the Thinking Class. Hey. Yo, get it.